What's going on, people? It's another edition of the Ace Acres Rants, and I just wanted to talk about the new system in place on YouTube. There's just for you guys that don't know, there's actually a dangerous system in place for those of you that are in MCNs. You're affected by this now. There's a new policy that just started this month called a YouTube suspension policy, and obviously it's a bit of a bitch because before when you were in AdSense, you would run into some occasions where you would get where you would lose your monetization, get disabled or whatever. You have to wait like 6 months to get the channel reinstated or whatever. Get it back in good standing. So if you had copyright strikes and all this stuff, yada yada yada. The difference is that usually if you were in an MCN, it wouldn't affect you. All you had to worry about when you were in an MCN was community guideline strikes and copyright strikes. So, the usual 3 strikes, you're out. And, that was the same even if you're in AdSense. Now, the difference is if you're in an MCN, you could get your AdSense disabled, which was never the case before. Now, you could just have 1 strike, not 3, 1 strike, and you're gone. I think I even heard that Content ID claims with when your video gets blocked worldwide, that little red link that's in your video, I think that affects it as well. Now they're putting more of an emphasis on that now, so there's no wiggle room to make mistakes now, man. And that's a problem. Here on YouTube now, you really can't really fuck up now. Especially if you're uploading copyright content, and this is obviously done to take these people down because. I think there's a belief out there that a lot of these copyright contenters are hiding behind MCNs, so they join MCNs, and I know I did that for sure when I got out of AdSense, and I don't know if this is because they figured out, hey, people are leaving AdSense because they know the MCNs will keep them from getting monetization disabled. So now they're trying to figure out a way, hey, how do we get these guys? How do we make it where everybody, in that situation gets affected? And so, YouTube is very petty with their fucking rules and shit. They always try to figure out something new just to ruin shit. I was so glad last year when and it's almost been a year since that happened, that whole video game gate thing that happened. You guys remember the whole video game thing where all those copyright claims, wiped out a whole bunch of videos, and then YouTube said they were going to make some severe changes after the new year that were going to affect a lot of video game creators and just regular creators in general. It looked like the backlash from that, it never happened. There was a few things that did take place in those things that they said they were going to do, but not the serious ones, like losing like the monetization stuck on the review one, which could still happen in the future, but for right now, it still hasn't really affect anybody in the network. But yeah, for the most part, this has been the most severe rule change that they've had in a long time, because this one actually is terrible. It is terrible, this change. Let me tell you my story, man. What happened to me just today. Okay, I'm putting up videos and stuff, and then I know sometimes, there's a little error sometimes where you won't see the green monetization buttons, and you have to refresh it, and then they come back. It's sort of like a codec problem sometimes, and I kept on refreshing. I'm like, man, it's not changing. So I said, man, maybe I just need to wait a little bit longer, like maybe wait a couple of more minutes. Still didn't, still did, and so I started getting concerned because I know I've seen this before with AdSense, and so I went to my channel and I saw red. It said monetization has been disabled, and I freaked out. I was like, whoa, whoa, it got real around here on YouTube. It got fucking real because this was on my big channel. I had one strike on there since August. Okay. It was from some music, somebody. It wasn't even like a corporation or anything. Just somebody submitted a strike for the video being up, and they gave me a strike. I tried to contact them about removing the strike, and usually I have no luck. Every time I get a strike for something, and I try to contact the companies or people give me a strike, I never get any luck with that shit like other people get. I don't know what it is, but that person never contacted me, so I just left it alone. I said it's only one strike; it's not going to kill me. The new policy is what killed me. You know, if this new policy wasn't even around, this strike was going to expire in February, so I only had 3 more months to live with this strike. And I said, hey, I can live with that. As long as I don't pick up a second one between now and then, I can live with that. Because I was still making money off the channel. Now, you know, I have a big channel. It really, outside of that strike, hasn't gotten in trouble, which is not normal for me because usually my channels go away in like a month or two. I rarely get them to stick for like 5 or 6 months. And that's how long this channel has been up. Technically, it's been up for 8 to 9 months, but there was a period where I wasn't using it, and then I started using it in the summer on a regular basis, and so now it's it's a powerful channel. You know, it's got almost 40 million views. You know what I mean, and a heavy subscriber count, like almost 40,000. It kind of matched up with the views, so it's really probably the biggest channel I've ever had here on YouTube, and the benefit about that channel is most of the things I put up, they were going to do well because there was so much traffic coming into the channel, and that's the benefit of having big channels. You get this in and out traffic, and you really don't have to worry anymore about getting your videos. I mean, there'd be some videos that flop. You know, they don't even probably do past 400 views. You know, but that rarely happens now. And I was like, whoa, shit got real. Lost my monetization. But the thing is, it was sort of not a surprise because a buddy of mine in a different network that I talked to on here also he ran a bigger channel than me. Like, it was almost twice the size as my channel because he had been running it for, what did he say, a year and 3 months or something like that. And I said my channel, I was hoping my channel gets that big at that point, whenever I get to that point. But he lost his monetization yesterday, and he was freaking out. And he told me, hey, man, you better, because I had already told him I had a strike on my channel. I had some videos that were blocked, and he said, hey, man, that's how I went down. I had one strike on my channel. He got his, I think, around September. It was the first time he ever got a strike on that channel, and he went down for the count. He lost his monetization, and he was so mad yesterday. He wasn't thinking right, though. This is the thing that he shouldn't have did. He shouldn't have got rid of that channel. He deleted the channel. And I said, in this new policy, you just need to wait like 6 months. Oh, I was like, you should have just kept it. You don't have to post on it anymore. Just keep it around because you got huge traffic coming from it. So when you're able to monetize it again, you can do it that way, and pick up your monetization because you will. The videos he has will be making money for years, and he should have just left it alone and started using it when everything was clear. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it up, but I'm going to stop posting on it. And it's unfortunate because my fans, I still haven't even told my fans yet that I'm going to stop posting on this channel. And I'm really considering taking a little small vacation here because, just away from YouTube. I love posting on YouTube though, man. But I might have to just clear my mind for a little bit. And when I mean like vacation, I mean like maybe a few days, maybe even a week or something. Not anything like 2 weeks or something like that, or 3 weeks. Something like a little small vacation just to clear my mind because you know I don't care what you upload, you're pirate or not. You're working hard putting this shit up. It's not unless you're stealing content. As far as like what I mean by stealing, it's like you're downloading other people's videos and you're just reposting them. Not like that. I'm talking about like if you're actually recording programs, uh, editing. And editing is a bitch sometimes. It could take a long time to edit and messing with graphics like Adobe After Effects, stuff like that. Everything that goes into that video in the rendering time is a bitch because that could take a long time depending on how long your video is. When you upload the video to YouTube, that could take some time. I mean, it is work, man, and I don't never feel appreciated on YouTube for the work. I never have, and maybe I'm not supposed to feel appreciated, but you know, YouTube. Look, YouTube is I should say Google, greedy organization, man. They'll figure out anything to make all the money off of you. These corporations do too. They don't have any respect for the content creators, man. That's what pisses me the fuck off. We put in really all the hard work, and they make money off of us, and we don't get shit in return. All we get is a head case like this, where we have to worry about not being able to monetize shit, new ways that they figure out how we're not going to be able to monetize our videos, and it just gets mad annoying, man. But like I said, back to this story. Like I said, my buddy, his shit went down, and my shit went down this morning, and I was like, and it made me think that this is really going to affect the big channels because we both have big channels. We don't have the super mega blockbuster channels, but in a sense, we have big channels because most people don't have the subscriber count or view count that we have. There's only like maybe a few hundreds of channels that have, maybe thousands, maybe a few thousands here or there that have actually more subscribers and viewers than we do. Most channels are usually in that 500,000 to about 4 million viewer range, like anywhere in between there. And the subscriber count is usually somewhere between 1,000 and 20,000 subscribers. Anybody with more than 20,000 subscribers, and I would say 10 million views, you have a very big channel on YouTube. That is very big. Because like I said, it's not very easy to even get those numbers. Sometimes it takes time. Maybe it takes a lucky hit video to get you going. I had a few in the beginning that got me going, and then it kept the content going. So, like I said, I understand. I upload copyright content. I know I shouldn't cry about anything. Because I consider myself lucky that I haven't even got sued by anybody yet. You know what I mean? So I consider myself lucky on that end. So I am thankful that never happened to me. God forbid it never does. But at the same time, this policy really needs to change back, or it needs to be modified. They need to completely take that damn one strike thing out, because what's the point of having three strikes, a three strike system, if you're going to get punished on the first one? Okay. One strike and you're out that doesn't make any sense. Isn't the three strike system so you get one warning, get a second warning that puts you way on the edge, and then the third one you're gone? I've always accepted that system because I said it's very fair. You get one, you get two, three, you're done. It's very fair. Now, the only benefit to this policy is that you got the 40 days, I believe, to straighten everything out instead of 7 like it was before. But to me, like I said, it doesn't benefit me because every time I've tried to settle a claim, I've never had any luck with it. So that whole damn thing doesn't even benefit me. I just really feel like the whole thing is just not even Right. And I don't think YouTube should really be interfering that much with MCNs. I think MCNs should have their own rules. And the way they handle their content creators is the way they should handle them. I can see if my network made that rule that we're going to pull back the monetization ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, if you have contracts, you're probably not going to be able to do that. That's why I always make sure I get into networks that have contracts, so I'm protected on some level. But like I said, for the most part, you know, they've really tried to do everything in their power in the last year to really try to interfere with MCNs. Really try to take down the content creators that are in MCNs. And this one might just do it, but it's also going to hurt YouTube in the long run because you're messing with big channels now. And there's a lot of big channels panicking over this, and there's a lot of big channels just in this past week that have lost their monetization. And I understand I'm not the only one. And I feel that's pretty bad because some people aren't strong enough to survive on YouTube, man. I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and I've really survived pretty well on YouTube, man. Mainly because I've always been able to kind of survive and open up new channels and kind of adapt to whatever changes are made. But this is going to be the toughest one I face because getting one strike is definitely detrimental, man. I'm hoping that this doesn't last and maybe gets changed back. It's happened before. Like I said, the whole video game thing last year, it changed. They didn't really roll out the big discipline strategy that they had. Like I said, in my opinion, this YouTube suspension policy just doesn't work. It's not going to work, and it's only going to kill YouTube in the long run because content creators are going to get so upset about this that because what this policy does, it doesn't allow growth for your channel. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, especially when you're messing with copyright content, it's so easy to screw up, And I'm not just talking about copyright, I'm talking about like video games and stuff too, because they still, I hear a lot of video game content creators, they get affected by strikes as well on a regular basis. So when you get that one red pink slip or whatever, letting you know you got a copyright strike, that you used to could say, man, if I get two more of these, then I'm out. Now you get one, you're really panicking now because your monetization is automatically disabled. Once you get that first one, it's over. What's the point of a 3-strike system? I'm looking at it now as just the only benefit is that if you plan on keeping the channel up, that's all it works for now. It doesn't really work for making money or anything. And like I said, the motivation is to make money, man. I'm not gonna lie. Motivation is to make money. I'm in this to make money. I'm also in this. I have fun doing this stuff. I love pleasing my subscribers and fans and viewers and stuff like that. I have fun doing that part. But there's the other part. I'm motivated by money. And like I said before, I'm not posting any new videos to their channel. It's also, if I don't get paid, I'm not posting any new shit to it. It just doesn't make any sense. I could keep the channel up, but what's the benefit if in the next 6 months, which is basically May right now, since it's happening on November 6th, I have to wait probably all the way to May 6th just for everything. That's a whole half a fucking year. If this shit doesn't change or get resolved, that's it for me in this channel, man, for the next 6 months. And I've never liked that whole 6 months thing. I think that's way too long, man. Come on, man. Like 6 months, really, man. I think we get the point, man. Make it like 2 or 3 months, man. Cut that shit in half, man. I think 6 months is way too fucking long. I don't understand why they think 6 months is because it's basically saying you lose your channel for a significant amount of time. 2 or 3 months is long enough. What's the point of 6 months? I never got that, but I never had a problem with it before until now because, like I said, this new policy really is a bitch, and I think the blocks also affect you as well. Um, and I haven't even checked some of my other channels, but I'm pretty sure I lost monetization on some of those. So now I'm gonna really have to start over. And the thing about those channels where I could put anything on them and it regenerates some type of decent amount of traffic. Um, now, as it stands right now, if when I continue back, I'm going to see some low numbers for a while, because it takes a while to build this shit up without a hit video, and that's frustrating, man. Like I said, I've always been able to do new channels, but man, shit like this really just, like I said, it's hard to grow fucking channels, man, and keep them up for a while. This looks like it was going to be my first channel in a while that I was going to be able to keep up for 6 months, for half a year. That would have been a hell of an achievement for me because I've had no luck keeping the channel up for more than 2 months, 2 to 3 months. And this was looking like that first channel I did, and then boom, something like this happens. So, and I've gotten better at being careful because, like I said, I didn't have that strike until like August, man. I've gotten a lot better at being careful about what I put up. And like I said, in that strike, and I really think I wouldn't have had no strikes because that strike actually came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that one. That was a strike. Sometimes you will have a strike that really doesn't make any sense. You will have a strike um, that really comes out of nowhere and catches you by surprise. This was one of them, and this was like I stated, this was a tough one to take, man. This was a pretty tough one to take because I really didn't expect for this to happen to me today. It's really bummed me out a little bit, but I'm not bummed out too much because I know I can just, I think I got some leftover channels right now that I could use instead of creating a whole new one. And I could just start using those a little bit, but it's frustrating to the fact that now you really don't have any wiggle room to make any mistakes. Now that they're punishing people on one strike, doesn't make any sense because that's not even the case on that actually changed with AdSense too. I noticed last year. Really, none of this is really that new. It's just that it applies to people in the MCNs now because they were doing this last year with AdSense. You get one strike in AdSense, your fucking whole account was gone. So there's still a benefit from being in the MCN because not all your channels are hit at one time. Like in AdSense, you get a strike. Everything in that fucking account, every channel that you have in that fucking account is affected. You lose monetization. At least in the thing that I'm liking in the MCN is that because I just checked some of my other channels, not all of them, but I checked some of my other channels, it's still lighting up green. So I checked that because I didn't know if they were doing the same thing, if every channel in your network was going to be affected. So, at least on that level, it's not like that because that could have been pretty fucking scary if you had that. So, yeah, man. Hold on, guys. I'm just looking at something real quick. Okay. So I was just looking at something real quick because I wanted to make sure that some of my channels weren't completely affected. And hold on, guys, I'm still looking at something because I'm seeing something that's a little bit frustrating on here. Um, Trying to check some of my other channels in that network. So yeah, it looks like for the most part, yeah. So I was correct that it isn't a mass. It isn't like a mass situation with that. Um, yeah, so it isn't like a mass situation like it is in AdSense, which is a good thing. That's the only really positive that comes out of this is that it's not something like that. But it's still very frustrating that upon one strike, it could ruin your channel. And like I said, it's going to be tough to deal with this because, like I said, you don't have any real wiggle room to really mess up, and that right there, man, is something that needs to be changed back because you're not giving your content creators any chance to really correct themselves. We all make mistakes. And sometimes we just want to please people who are not able to see this stuff on TV. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to really keep viewers from watching stuff live because we know that impacts your program on when people are watching it live, but just the lack of respect that they have for content creators is just so fucking annoying. But like I said, I didn't really want to cry too much about that because that's just something that's you deal with on a regular basis. Um, so I'm not going to really cry about it, but like I said, it gets very frustrating with this shit because YouTube is always doing something new and scary that can affect you. You never know when that bat is going to swing at your channels and how it's going to affect you, man. You really never know. Um, it's something that you can never prepare yourself for. You can never prepare yourself for anything that happens on YouTube. I'm telling you right now, you can never prepare yourself for what happens on YouTube. Um, Stuff could just happen to you, and you never know. Um, so like I said, what I did today, this afternoon, I made a little bit of a step. I contacted both YouTube and one of the people at Machinima who really has done a great job of helping me out. His name is Carlos. I brought it to his attention what happened to me because I'm not going to be posting any new content. And I'm going to get to the network situation as well. I forgot to cover that because I was about to try to get close to the end of the video, but I'm going to have to touch up on that. But anyways, I contacted both of them. Haven't gotten a response yet. Usually with Carlos, he'll respond back in like a day or two. So I'm not expecting anything today from him. But I've also contacted YouTube just to let them know, can I get this strike removed or whatever. And the thing that's killing me is that this strike on my channel really needs to get removed because I don't know who that person is. I don't know why I got a strike from it. And that's another thing that needs to change on YouTube, man. On the other side, why is it so easy for anybody to submit a claim? Um, there should be a process, a legal process with that because that's something that it's too easy to me. In the real world, that shit takes time. If you want to do anything to protect yourself or sue somebody, that shit takes time. it should apply to YouTube as well. YouTube is real life. It should apply to YouTube as well. It should not take a second for someone to do that. You know, and I just really feel like that whole thing needs to change as well. I think it's too easy for people to set strikes and stuff like that. So I'm going to see what these replies get, if I get any, help on that end. If this situation doesn't straighten out that way, or YouTube doesn't change the policy, I'm screwed for the next 6 months on this channel, because I'm not going to be making any money off of it for the next 6 months. So I'm hoping something comes to light within the next week. It's a very important week for this channel, because like I said, I'm not using it until then. So that's pretty bad. And on the flip side of this, I'm really surprised the networks allowed this to happen, or didn't even really speak up about it, because this is going to affect their pocketbooks. You're going to have a lot of these networks that have people who upload copyright material. They make a considerable amount. You know, you add all those people up together, and all the people that have strikes, or all the people that are going to get strikes, won't be able to make money for your network. So I'm expecting these networks to lose a huge amount of money over the next few months if this policy sticks to the way it is. Most of the big networks have a good share of big content creators where they're making millions for them or whatever. But that number is going to decline, because the people who bring up, I've always looked at us like we're kind of like the backbone of the networks. You know, we're not that big, but we're big enough to make a network. Like, I've been making machinima over the past few months in Quiz Group, which is my other network. I've been making them maybe around 3,000, 4,000 on just one channel every month. You know, that's still a good amount of money. That's money that one of those guys could, you know, when they split the pie, you know, buy something, you know, in their personal life. It's a good amount of money. I mean, every channel adds up. So that's the one thing that you got to remember. It's not just one channel. Every channel adds up. And it sounds like a lot of people lost their monetization this week. So I'm pretty sure these networks are about to lose a shitload of money. You just add all those people up. Because my friend, he said in his network that at least 16 content creators reported that their monetization had been lost in that one network this week. That's a big change. That's a big change, guys. And there's no way in hell, if I own a network, I'm going to let this policy sit and stick around, because now it's hurting my pocketbook when someone can easily lose their monetization. Because when we lose our monetization, they lose the chance to make money off of us. So that's not good. That's not good at all for the networks. That's why I said I think the networks are going to have to come together and fight this and change it back to the way it was. Because this one strike system, it's not going to work long term for YouTube. And it's not a benefit to YouTube either, because like I said before, I'm waiting on the day when they get some fucking competition, man. Because people are going to leave in droves. YouTube is still going to be big for a while until they get that legit competition. When they get that legit competition where people are like, man, it's just like with MySpace and Facebook, man. Or even Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You see a lot of people flocking to whatever is new. And the reason why Facebook and what's the other one I just said, Twitter are still doing well today is because of the competition that they have. They don't screw around too much. Like, they're not going to implement too many new rules. Like, they implement new rules here and there, but you're not going to really see anything where it really affects their sites. Nothing like you see on YouTube. It's a huge difference. Like, on YouTube, they do whatever the fuck they want because they don't have any consequences of competition. It's just like, I'm a wrestling fan, WWE and TNA. WWE is putting out a shit product every week that they don't care about because they don't have any competition from TNA or anybody or any other mainstream wrestling company. It's just them at the top. They're a monopoly. You know what I mean? It's only them and only about them. You know what I mean? So they don't have to ever worry about, hey, these people are going to flock over here or whatever. We can continue to bastardize them and keep them under our control. That's what's happening here with Google. You know, they're keeping us in our little, they're keeping us under their control. They're doing all types of shit to benefit themselves, and they don't really care about us, the content creators. And like I said, this also affects the viewers and fans because on my channel alone, you know, I'm not posting anymore. It's going to affect them. They're going to have to, because I'm debating right now on some of the things that I upload, if I'm going to go to a new channel and upload them. Because I do make a ton of money off those videos, but I'm in a situation right now where I got enough money coming in for the next 2 months where, because I made a good amount of money in September and October, where I can kind of take a break right now. You know, it's not going to hurt me to take a break. But when it comes to like making money in, you know, after the new year, you know, in January, February, March, that's when I'm going to have to start working it, you know, really getting the money going again. But, but yeah, guys, like I said before, man, um, this is not good. You know, this is something that hurts everybody. And like I said, it hurts YouTube too in the long run. It's not going to hurt them right now, but it's going to hurt them in the long run. And that's why I don't see any benefit out of this system. I don't at all. I don't see any benefit out of this system except that it's going to just kill things right now. Because like I said, this thing, it's not as big as a video game thing, but that's because there was a bigger outcry for that because there was a mass scan with those copyright claims, those blue links. You know, there was you know where it takes money off, but the people were still able to make money off their channel with new content, so it didn't really affect you too much. This actually affects you. This disables your shit on your channel. Now you have to make a new channel. Like I said, it's easy to make a new channel, but it's you know it's hard to get those subscribers back because I've had channels where I haven't been able to reach that point sometimes, and it takes a while to get there. Man, that takes months, man, to get to that point, man. And so, like I said, with this shit, I get one strike, and within that period of time of trying to grow a new channel, that shit's gonna go down as well, and then I gotta move again. And so you're just moving, constantly moving and moving and moving and moving, instead of just YouTube figuring something out where we don't get affected by this shit. So, like I said, the shit is frustrating as hell. You know, I was so happy 3 weeks ago I got paid for the first time by Machinima, and then this shit happens 3 weeks later. I was looking forward to getting paid again by my two or three networks. You know, payment times coming again in a couple of weeks. And then this shit happens, and I mean, it really is. It really is a drainer, man. It really does. It drained me out today, man. I went to like after it happened, man. It happened like I was really up late this morning. I went to sleep around 7 o'clock in the morning. Got back up not that long ago, and I was a bit depressed because I slept it off because I said, man, I don't want to be thinking about it for another hour or two, man. I didn't want my mind to be thinking about it. I'm doing better now than I did when I first found out about it, but I mean, it's something where you know you're gonna have to hit the start over button, you know, for now. And it's frustrating as hell that this new policy came in because when I first heard about the policy a couple of weeks ago, you know, there were some videos warning people about it, and I was like. And then I was like, you know, it might not affect us that much. And it sounded like it was something that could be a little bit detrimental than what they had before. But then reality came in this week because I actually forgot about it a little bit. You know, when after Halloween got here, I kind of forgot about it until my friend told me about it yesterday. And then I started doing some research and I found out a lot of other people got hit this week, losing their monetization when they're in a network. And it happened to me today. So that's crazy as hell, man. That whole thing is crazy as hell. You know, like I said, YouTube kills themselves sometimes, man. I'm not killing YouTube. They're killing themselves sometimes, man. They implement all these changes and shit, and this and that, and this, that, and third, and the whole Google Plus thing failed on them last year. They're always when they're implementing something, it always fails on them. It's because people don't want to see fucking change, man. And Google needs to realize that it's okay. It's good to update your site. It's good to make changes here or there to make it fresh. I get all that, but they always come up with something new. And when they come up with something new, it's usually annoying. Like they even had a system. It was a new uploading system. I heard like if you have Chrome, some type of optimization or something like that on your uploads or something. And then they had something where if you look at Video Manager, you can actually see the time for the process and how much time is remaining when you upload a video. Then they took that off yesterday. And so that means that didn't work, whatever they were trying to do with that. And now they got this system in place. And so are they going to backtrack on this system too? I hope they do. I hope they do. I think it'd be better for them to retract this damn policy system. They could keep the whole 40 days thing. They could keep that part. There's certain parts of the policy that do work for people, but just get rid of the whole one strike thing. Get rid of that shit. That shit don't work, man. Get back to 3 strikes like it's supposed to be. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out. Come on. That's a simple philosophy to follow, man. I mean, to hurt someone on 1 fucking strike is really ridiculous. And the fact that I had that strike before this policy was even in place is even more bullshit. It wasn't like it was a new strike that came to me after the policy was in place. So I'm a victim of just a strike being there before, and that shit is bullshit, man. I mean, I'm getting so tired of just talking about this. I think I'm about to end this video. It just really pisses me the fuck off that, YouTube does some shit like this all the damn time. Like I said, guys, I just wanted to rant about that a little bit. If you watch this video, thank you. I don't get too many views from my channel anymore. This particular channel here, but I hope if you get a chance to watch it, you spread the word. If you're in the network, let your network know what's going on, man. People are losing monetization quickly this week. I mean, if you take a sample size of 16 people in my friends' network, and you put that all together in other networks, you add those people up, and do your estimation counts like Nielsen does in the TV ratings. If you do your estimations, you're looking at thousands of people that lost their monetization this week alone. I'm telling you right now, it's got to be in the thousands somewhere, because that's a pretty big sample size, 16, man. And the thing is, that's not all of that reported that they lost their monetization, man. And when you've got video game people losing monetization as well because they had a strike from weeks ago, and they're getting flagged down today. So, like I said, if you watch this video, make a video. Spread the word out, man. Spread the word out. Make this shit big like that video game gate shit last year, because we're going to need a big outcry from this in order for YouTube to make a change with this shit. Spread the word. Go to forums. Let people know that this is happening, because this is unacceptable, man. YouTube really got away with a bullshit fucking policy that they put in place, and like I said, it's really gonna hurt shit. So I'm done ranting. I hope you guys have a great day. I had a really bad one. The good thing about having YouTube as a job, you have more good days than bad. But this is one of my bad days. So I guess I was due for one. To be honest with you guys, I was probably due for one. But oh man, well, I hope you guys take care, and peace out. Hopefully this damn thing goes away. I'll give you guys an update if anything changed. Maybe I got that claim removed and I got back in good standing. I'll let you know. If anything changes with this YouTube policy and it gets back to the way it was, I'll let you know about that too. So I'll probably do another video next week anyway. See, this is, even if nothing changes, I'm going to do another one next week just to update you guys and I'll let you guys know what's going on. So, like I said, thank you guys and peace.